citizens, welcome back to the Wyvern's Lair. I am Dungeon Master Wyvern, returning this Saturday evening to my ongoing adventures in Avowed by the good developers at Obsidian. Where we last left off, we fought a horrific, twisted bear, apparently fallen to some sort of vicious plague that had enraged it. And when we slew the bear, we were able to rescue the envoy from the Adir Empire, one of our primary contacts that we'd been sent to get in touch with for our quest on behalf of the Emperor. So that's kind of where we left things off the last time we were here playing Avowed. And I'm really looking forward to what will hopefully be a nice long session of Avowed this evening. I don't have anything to do this evening. I got the whole night ahead of me, and I plan to make good use of it for this session as we return to the world of Aora here at the Wyvern's Lair. Alright, let's not delay anything further. Before we go and get started, I do want to, right at the top of my stream, I do want to thank our good friend Queen Tiamat for the €5 donation on my last Ultima Online stream. I forgot to give Queen Tiamat a shout out for her kind tithe to the Mega Dungeon. Thank you again, Queen Tiamat. Greatly appreciated. And I also want to thank Femir for the subscription to our YouTube channel. Thank you for supporting the Lair, Femir. All right, with that, off we go to Avowed. All right, hopefully things are working as planned. We're generating some shaders here, so you can see the game is optimizing shaders for your system to ensure smooth performance and reduce in-game stuttering. So we're just gonna wait for the shader generation to complete, and then we can dive right in. There was a patch for Avowed that came out March 27th, so I just managed to patch it before we went live this evening. So I didn't realize that I had to regenerate my shaders for the game. So just give this a moment and we'll dive into it. I'm looking forward. I've been really having fun with Avowed. The last couple of sessions have been great. I've really enjoyed, exploring that initial area that you end up in after being shipwrecked on the way to the Living Lands. And so it's been great, sort of discovering all the little secrets and hidden nooks and crannies, and sort of getting used to my pure two-handed warrior build that I've been running with. So it's been a good time so far in Avowed. And it will hopefully be another fun session this evening once we're able to dive in. Shaders are taking their time to generate, so let's just wait for this to go on by. I'm going to go ahead and give us a little bit of a pause in the meantime. We're going to go to our break screen. I was saying, we are back and ready to rock and roll. All right, let's get into it. Good thing I remembered I was muted. All right, so there we go. We're back in. Layers in. Let's go ahead and continue our adventure. Berath's Wheel. The wheel refers to the cycle of reincarnation. Berath, goddess of cyclical death, churns departed souls through the process of cleansing and rebirth, so they might live again. Loading into the hilltop where we last left things off. We were to go this way. Oh, look at this. There's Ambassador Falson Hilgard, the person we were sent to rescue.
I'm well enough to see myself out. Thank you for your concern, envoy.
All right, and there's our companion Kai.
Don't get too used to the comforts of Paradise.
Paradise, that's right. So we finally arrived at Paradise. We were not able to enter Paradise because it's under quarantine, but hopefully the ambassador will be able to see us through. Just making sure that we hadn't left anything behind. It's always good to be back in such a beautiful game. Get used to some of the controls again. Yeah. There we go. All right. All right, I think we're ready to press on here. There is a day and night cycle to Avowed, which is kind of nifty.
Old fella who used to live here ended up in one of those shanties by the dock. Now I see why.
All right. Just want to make sure that I don't go tumbling to my death here. This is probably the best way down. So we will just carefully make our way down that cliff face. We ended up here. Aha. The backpack with copper skeet, beetle shell, and enchanting material, and pelt. And armor upgrade material. We'll happily take all that stuff. Yeah. Avowed rewards the curious player, that's for sure. I believe that's a save point. Yeah. Overgrown frontiers where we've ended up. All right. Let's see what this corpse has on them. Copper skeet and a pelt. We got Settler's Arrow. We'll happily take that. Crafting material. Yeah, it's good to be back. Overgrown Expanse Party Camp. Ah, we found a new party camp for ourselves. Excellent. Let's hit the M button. So we're over here, and there's the Pagroon Cache, huh? Not too far from where we are. Let's go ahead and interact with this Adra Stone. Set up party camp? Sure. Let's see if we can unspent ability points. Okay, so let's tab and see what we got. There we go. Do I have it right? I do have 1 point available to me, so that's at rank 10. We could increase our charge by 100%. I do like that. Barbaric Shout. Let out a fearsome roar that interrupts enemies and empowers you against larger foes. Your weapon attacks become uninterruptible and deal higher stun. Ah, that could be useful. Bleeding Cuts. Power attacks with axes and greatswords deal bleed accumulation. Ooh, that does sound very, very good. Devastating criticals. Critical hits with melee weapons deal 30% more damage. We definitely like the two-handed weapon thing we got going here. Do we want to increase our maximum health? Or do we want to increase the war charge? You know what? We're going to increase the war charge. That seems like a key ability for ourselves. Though Bleeding Cuts also sounds really good. Power attacks with axes and greatswords deal bleed accumulation. But I do like how we can traverse with charge. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to spend that point there. Are you sure you want to spend 1 point in this ability? Yes. So that's going to increase our distance travel during charge by 100%. All right. Now let's see what we can upgrade here. Enchant unique weapons.
Hilgard doesn't seem like the kind of man you'd send to the frontier, does he? You seem much better suited to it.
I would agree. Hilgard seems like an odd choice for the Empire. Main camp tent, access outfits. Let's take a look. So we got this, Obsidian Collection, or Yora Collection, and default outfit. We're going to keep them on the Obsidian Collection there. Party stash. We can store items here. Let's see what we can store. So we can store the common dagger. The common bow. Do we store the common bow? Why not? We'll store the common bow. Do wish we had access to a greatsword. We're going to go ahead and put in the oh, plus 50% stun. That's actually really good. I do like the extra stun. I'm going to want to equip that, actually. Let's store the iron gauntlets. And we're good with that. Slowly regenerate health while wet. Slowly regenerate essence. Situational, that one. Let's go ahead and put this away. I don't plan on dealing too much with that. We don't need the extra coin. That seems kind of minor for myself. Let's see, what can we upgrade? Oh, the Unflinching Duty. Okay, yeah, that's right. No, we don't want to deal... We do not want to mess around with Unflinching Duty. We're not really going to be using shields. We'll put that away for the time being. We very well may eventually end up deconstructing that. Let's not forget to put on our vambraces. There we go. That's going to give us some extra stun, which is great for ourselves. We're looking good. Character is looking good. Let's talk to Kai and see if he has anything new to say to us.
By the way, now that we've gotten to know each other, let me know if you want to train together. I've been watching your form, and I think we could learn from one another.
I'm going to say, you mentioned training together.
Yeah, I've watched your form as I've gotten to know you, and it's excellent. You're smaller than I am, but I picked up a few tricks from seeing the way you move on the battlefield. I'm happy to return the favor if there's anything I can teach you.
You put a lot of power into your attacks. I want to learn how to hit harder with mine.
It's all about using your weight. Here, I'll show you. That's it. You got the hang of it. I look forward to seeing what you can do when we get back out there tomorrow. In the meantime, get some rest.
All right, +2 might. Excellent. Kai's training. Wow, what is our might now? 9. That's amazing. So we're looking really good. Plus 23% damage. One more point, and I'll be happy with where we're at with our character's might. Let's go ahead and leave the camp. Rest for the night and exit the party camp? Sure. All right. Let's go and see what else we can find around the area. Got some crates. Open them up and see if there's any goodies inside. I do hear the shimmer of loot in this chest. Let's see what it has. We got softwood branch, another upgrade material. Pick that up. And I think that's it as far as what this little shelter shanty had hidden away. We got a phantom up ahead. That's interesting. First time we've seen that. And the Pagroon cache doesn't seem to be too far here. Let's see. Dawn Shore, message from afar. Right. Escape plan. Mapping the living lands. What is the Pagroon cache related to? Let's leave that alone for the time being. That's our party camp. Enter the city of Paradise. That sounds like something we can do. Let's see what we have by the shore here. Rushing water from the waterfall there. Let's we're gonna stick to the high ground here and slowly make our way down. What's this? Didn't look hostile. No. They are in fact not hostile, so we'll leave them alone. No need to needlessly massacre the those things, however, are hostile. Those water beetles. And I'm not so sure if we have a way down from here. Let's see. Looks like a pretty... Oh! There's a way to parkour down to those water beetles. So we'll go ahead and do that. We got a couple of them. One. And that's two. Easily taken care of.
I was just getting warmed up.
I know you were, Kai. Alright, let's check to see what this abandoned house may have for us. No, that's not going to break. That's not going to bust open to our attacks, but perhaps we could scale up here and find a way through this part of the door. Nope, that doesn't actually break. Let's try charging. Nope, that didn't work. There must be a way through the roof. Yep, that's what I suspected. This is a way down.
Not bad. It's got natural light, right on the river. Just needs a little upkeep.
Guys suggesting we could turn this into a home for ourselves. And inside we found a golden skellink, a softwood branch, an iron chunk, pelt, and awakened wood. All enchanting materials for ourselves. Well worth it, I would say. Trying to get down here. Let's see what else we can find. in these ruins before we press on. We've got a crumbling gardener's log. The pages of this decades-old journal are yellowed and brittle. Much of it is illegible, but you can make out the following entry clearly. The soil's been stubborn lately, like it's got a secret to keep. Hopefully these newcomers from the Republics will be able to provide some help. I've heard that some of the best animancers the old country had to offer are here now. No answer yet to my letter, but I'm sure they'll reply soon. They wouldn't leave a fellow Valiant in the dark, right? Others have been saying that maybe we should just pack up and throw our lot in with Fior. I don't know. On the one hand, they could probably use the extra manpower. On the other, this is our home. I'm not going to give up on it so easily. And we can probably unbar the door. Now, we're on the other side. And successful. Successful little spelunk. Let's see, what else do we have here? Got some bottles. This leads to Paradise. What is that? Looks like a bear. Let's not forget that we have this arquebus. See if we can spot whatever that was. Yeah. So we were over there. It is a bear that's standing. Oh, not standing. It's just kind of going around. Equipment upgrade available. Okay. Is that a hostile? It is. There we go. Good hit. Oof. Got him. That did not take much work. Joker Soul Dragon. Welcome to the lair, my good friend. Saying, DM Wyvern, back at it again. I see. Indeed, Joker. I am back at it. How are you doing, my friend? I was just about to reach out to you over Discord and check to see how you're doing. It was such a joy, a mixed joy to have you come by, visit us. Always good to see you, Joker, for our Ultima Online Guild adventure on the New Legacy Shard. But of course, I was sorry to hear that you were dealing with a family tragedy this past week. Hope you're well, my friend. Good to have you here as I continue to check out Avowed. Joker says, doing good. Help my brother-in-law and family move to their new home. Good man, Joker. I know that you spent the last several weeks playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Are there any games that you've been looking at since then? Got a small little makeshift tent camp. This is where we fought the bear. Oh my goodness, lots of blood. These campers probably didn't come to a good end, I would imagine. I gotta tell you, if you're looking for a game, I would definitely recommend Avowed. Got some thorn fruit here. We'll pick that up. Especially if you liked Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. This is
Wilds are getting deadlier by the day, but people have to eat.
That is true. A far simpler experience than Kingdom Come Deliverance, from what I understand. There we got a corpse. This could be someone killed by the bear, perhaps. We got silver fending, softwood branch, pelt, iron chunk of the common sword, and we got soul sponge there. Joker says, I'm playing Nightingale right now. It had a huge update and it brought in Nightingale City. Oh, that does sound exciting, Joker. No plans to feature Nightingale in the Hacienda? on a live stream one of these days, or are you just playing offline for leisure? What is this? Put up my map. Strangleroot Beacon. Gotcha. It's the overgrown frontier, huh? Strangleroot itself. Did we explore the overgrown frontier? I don't think we did. Let's go ahead. We went in. This is where we had to venture into to rescue the ambassador, but we didn't explore the surrounding lands. So let's go do a bit of that cheeky business while we're here. Joker says, I will for sure. I need to get back to the swing of things. I hear you, Joker. Don't ever make it work for yourself. Only stream if you want to.
This used to be a shortcut to Emerald Stair. Then the land got other ideas.
Shortcut to Emerald Stair, you say? Yeah, don't ever make it work for yourself, Joker. Collapsed gatehouse. Alright, whatever happened here. A soul sponge. Common round shield. This warrior probably fought the bear to death. Was it one of those infected types? You can see a hand that the bear had ripped off the one of these poor souls. Essence potion here. Pretty horrific if you ask me. And over here we have a common bow. And that's the person who I think whose hand was taken by the bear. We got a Paradis Militiaman here with copper skeet, a lockpick, and a common leather cuirass.
Take your best shot.
Oh hey! All right, so let's go ahead. Get you on the case. There we go. That's one.
Nice.
And that's two. Excellent. And that's two. Easily done. Those phantoms didn't actually put up too much of a fight for ourselves. Joker says, I've really been wanting to. Fair enough, Joker. Primal Wind. Monster part enchanting material off those phantoms. We'll happily take them. We should get together for some offline Ultima Online too, Joker. There's a lot to do, a lot we can both learn and explore together on the new Legacy Shard. I know Rex Rumble has been missing your company, that's for sure. I'm not one to keep up with Rex and his humor, but you certainly are. They call you Joker Soul Dragon for a reason. Alright. Got thorn fruit here. What do you think of Avowed so far, Joker? I'm curious. Also, how am I coming across clearly? Am I sounding a little low for you? Let me know how my audio volume's doing. Joker says, hit me up anytime tonight or tomorrow. Sounds good, Joker. I will probably be around Sunday evening, so I'll definitely take you up on that. I'll reach out to you on Discord and see if we can get together for some shenanigans. You're good, buddy. Okay, excellent. Because I have heard at times that I can occasionally come across as a little low on the good old audio here. Let me know if I'm coming across a little low for you, Joker. I've been fighting with my mic a little bit in the past. Let's take a look at how we're doing here. So yeah, as I was saying, what has been your impressions of Avowed so far? I'm curious as to your thoughts, given the fact that this is, I think, the kind of game that you would enjoy playing. How are we doing? How are we doing here? seems like we got some stuff up top. Something here too. Yep, there we go. Shadow grass. Got a bunch of stuff up here, but I'm not so sure how we get up there. Maybe that way? So let's see about wrapping around here. Yeah, I think this might be the way to it.
Yeah.
We fought basically 1,000 Zorops here. I think it's further this way, maybe? Yeah, alright. So that's easy. Easy peasies for ourselves. Let's see how far our war charge is. Ah. Didn't quite make it over the lip. We got a Zorop tongue here. What did it fight? Oh, this is horrific. These are these strange crab-like creatures that we fought in the, I believe it was the Seaside Cavern there. We got some Paradisian ladder. Backpack with the silver fenning, common grimoire of elements, beetle shells, and 2 lockpicks. Excellent. Got some skein bone. I think that's it here. Joker says, it looks like a lot of fun. I really think so, but there are some aesthetics that are not for me. I wish for this IP they had chosen one of the cooler deities, but I'll probably pick it up on sale. Gotcha. Yeah, that's fair. It's actually very expensive off the Steam store, so I don't blame you at all for wanting to wait until there's a sale for it. Because, yeah, it is not cheap, that's for sure. I guess this is a safe way down. Famous last words. A little bit of damage. A little bit of damage. Okay. Let's see. Right now we're just clearing out the fog of war. Joker says, I never buy off Steam early. Yeah, there are deals to be found. Steam's not the only game in town. That is for sure. Alright. Let's head back to the collapsed gatehouse. Where we fought those phantoms. Joker says, I find that Instant Gaming is the best legit site that has great deals. Okay, I'll have to keep an eye out on that website, Joker. Okay. So maybe I've come as far as I should go. Maybe I should head back to Paradise. We're just going to go to the Strangleroot Beacon. Yep. We're going to head to the Strangleroot Beacon. Then we're going to hug the river until we reach Paradise. Abaddon. Abaddon is the god of golems, machines, industry, strength, hope, and aspiration. He is favored by blacksmiths. Alright. Yeah, we're going to head down this way. Oh, hey. Hey, that's actually a pretty big fight. Pretty big fight. We want to get drop on them. Let's let them... Okay, there we go. Yeah, I want to get at least one of them with stealth kill. No. Let's go.
This one's mine. Next one's mine.
Where's the... Is that it?
Another glorious battle.
Yes, it was. Spider leg. What if we fight here? Oh well. Parties and ladder. Shadowgrass. Uh-huh. And let's go ahead and ask Kai to do a fire starter. Another one.
Ready, aim.
Just have these all burned away.
Stand back. Where now?
There.
Aye, aye.
All right. And what do we have here? Well, that's rather disappointing. I was hoping that we'd find something within that little alcove. Let's see what we can find around. Nothing. Alright, we'll get our man Kai on the job. And there we go. We do have something here. Common mace. Interesting. We got plenty of these spores, which we can ignore.
Coming in hot.
Destroy the webs with Kai's fire starter ability. Done a pretty good job. Oh, look at that beautiful light. The sun shining through the forest there. This game is very beautiful to experience, Joker, for sure. Alright. I think we've cleared out most of the fog of war in this part of the map, so let's head back to Paradise and meet up with the ambassador. Head to the Western Paragoon Wall Beacon. All right. Yep. There is the city ahead. I think we can actually expedite this, can't we? Just making sure that we haven't left anything here to be undiscovered. There's a little bit of that. Let's go to Dangan's cottage real quick. Yeah, I want to just quickly check to see what we might have on the other side here. Jump across. There is no way to scale up there, I think. Yeah. No, that's just teasing us. Easy does it. Oh yeah, we'd been down this way. It's the Zorup camp. I wonder if there doesn't seem to be anything inside here. So maybe it's just a little red herring for us. But let's just go this way. See whether we can find our way through. Nope. Nope, that didn't work. My bonus threshold. We do have something here. A deer and scouting log. Mekenswedeg. 3 new Zarps approached the camp at dawn. They waited at the edge until the brute emerged from his hut. They seemed to argue something over the fire for a while, then came to some kind of agreement and went their separate ways. To be honest, I'm starting to question our strategy here. They're territorial, but I don't know what we stand to gain from clearing these settlements. Resources? None that I've seen. I wish the captain would call this off. Got a health potion inside. A little camp, a little tent. Alright, I'm going to concede that I probably have searched what I can here. So let's head over to the Paradis main gate beacon, shall we? Solace Keep. Solace Keep is an ancient fortress in Gallowayne's tusks and the primary residence of the Wardens. The keep is used to defend the region from outsiders and to monitor volcanic activity. Alright, there is Paradis. Main settlement here in the Living Lands, and there's the ambassador.
Welcome to Paradis, Envoy. The ambassador's expecting you.
Alright, and we got Militia Captain Sinric here.
Good work out there, Envoy. Only just arrived, and you're already the talk of the town. Well, the ambassador ordered me to give you free access to the city. No idea why he's calling the shots all of a sudden, but...
That sounds ominous.
Anyway, you can go on ahead. The ambassador's expecting you.
Take a look at the dialogue here. Falson Hilgerd is an Adiran ambassador dispatched to the Living Lands on a mission of peace and mutual cooperation. His headquarters are located at the Adiran embassy in the city of Paradis. Joker says, also, did you hear of the huge Ubisoft buyout after the newest Assassin's Creed game is flopping? Been on life support? I did. Very, distantly it entered the periphery of my awareness, Joker. Big news for sure. Ubisoft has been one of the larger AAA studios for a decade now. I'm going to say, what about Inquisitor Lodwood? You said she was looking for me.
Well, she comes and goes. You never know where she'll turn up, and it's never for a good reason. Kind of like a nightmare. Once you're in the city, you'll find the Adiran embassy due north of the gatehouse. Take care, Envoy.
What? No parting words from me? After all the time we spent together?
Shove off, Muttonhead. How's that for a parting word?
With talk like that, it's no wonder the Adirans think we need a little civilizing. At least I'm in good company now. Right?
All right. Okay. I guess we're going to make our way through the city here. Got some copper skeet. We'll pick that up. And there it is. In all its glory. Paradis. Southern Paradis.
Envoy!
should not be here. You should be free, whole, the blood feeding your veins. Why are you here?
Interesting. I'm gonna say, something tells me I'm not in the living lens anymore. Where am I?
A space within emptiness, where the gods live and the dead wait. A cage, a prison. We feel the souls of multitudes, a current beneath the skin of this place. We could dip our hand in once, feel them near us. But now, we are trapped like wasps in amber. But you should be alive.
I'm gonna say, death comes for all mortals. It's all right. I just wish I knew how.
Our beloved, they stole the bloom from your branch. An arrow broke the skin. It carried poison to your veins. A festering blot of corruption spread through the root and sap. It stilled your heart. It silenced the song in your mind.
I'm gonna say, too bad I couldn't take my killer with me.
Yes, we would see them hurt too, writhing like a dying adder. We can give you this chance. We could send you back. Just this once.
I'm gonna say, what do you mean send me back? How?
The minnow can slip the fisher's net, even while the prize remains. And the fox chews its leg off to escape the hunter's snare. It is the only way. We will use our waning strength to free you. Then you must find us. Free us from our prison.
Whoever you are, thank you.
You are ours. We tend to the sprout on the bough. Breathe deep. All birth is agony.
You're awake? Thank the gods. For a second there, I thought I had a problem on my hands.
All right, before I go into this dialogue choice with Liviana, I do want to welcome Mark Borden here to the Stygian Abyss. Good to have you here, Mark. We also got our fellow layers in, Ron Fellows, saying, what is this game? Just kidding, I tried it. Not as far as you. Hey, welcome, Ron. Good to have you here. Been thinking about you. Hope all's well. All right, so speaking with Liviana, we just probably met the power that is related to my godlike variant, and it returned me back to life in return for my promise to free it from its prison. So the plot thickens. I'm gonna say war hero. I take it someone added another scar to my collection.
You'd think so, but I can't find a scratch on you. I still don't know what that means.
Glad to see you with us. I was sure you were already on your next trip around the wheel, but I brought you here just in case. If anyone can work a miracle, it's Liviana, though whatever restored you is beyond even her skill.
I'm gonna say, thank you, Kai. I won't forget it.
Hey, I'm sure you would have slung me over your back too, if our situations were reversed.
There's something I still don't understand. Envoy, you died.
I'm gonna say 7-3. I've spent years building an immunity to poison.
A resistance to poison isn't a resistance to the beyond.
What does this mean for him? Should he expect anything else strange? Other than coming back from the dead, I mean.
That depends on a few things. Visions and hallucinations? Likely. Manifestations of past lives? Uncommon, but possible.
Let's take a look at the lore behind this dialogue we're having with Liviana. Wyvern saying, Ron Fellow says, Wyvern picking all the opposites I would. Hey Ron, I'm glad you're checking out Avowed. It's, variety's the spice of life, I say. Alright, so the Beyond refers to the realm of the gods and the destination of departed souls who tarry for a time while they await reincarnation into new lives. Barrett's Wheel. The wheel refers to the cycle of reincarnation. Barath, goddess of cyclical death, churns departed souls. We actually read that before, so I'm not going to go ahead and read that again. Mark Borden, how did you find us here at the Stygian Abyss? I'm just curious. I always like it when I see unfamiliar names here in the Abyss. Clear your throat loudly. I'm going to choose this resolve choice.
Ah, look at us, rambling on like you're still the bloodied corpse.
This is far beyond my expertise. You should visit Runid, our local watcher. She would know what to make of your strange, stubborn soul.
I'm going to say a watcher.
One who sees into the spirit realm, speaks to the dead, and knows the past through their eyes. A watcher examines the soul down to its very core. I can't think of anyone more qualified for the job.
All right, let's see what else we have in the way of a tooltip. Watchers are rare individuals blessed or cursed with the ability to interact with the dead and see into the realm between life and death. Some watchers are driven mad by their gift, while others struggle to live normal lives. We played a watcher in the first 2 Pillars of Eternity CRPGs. I'm going to say, I'll find the watcher. Just point me in the right direction.
Runid's shop is in the hills to the northeast. A bit of a walk. Just head out of the gate to the east of town and follow the path that curves to the north. It should be perched up in the hills. Oh, but avoid the Watcher in Hightown. She's a known charlatan. I'll send word to the ambassador that you survived, but he'll no doubt want to talk to you.
All right. I'm going to say, Thank you, Liviana.
Head up the stairs outside my clinic and take a left onto the main road. That'll get you to the embassy.
Okay, I don't have the intellect for that choice there. I'm going to say I'll report to Ambassador Hilgard right away, because I am, after all, a faithful servant of the Emperor, and I have been charged with establishing contact with the Ambassador and assisting with the Scourge here in the Living Lands.
I suppose following the chain of command will soothe his worries. Either way, I should go with you. Your assassination is bound to have stirred things up.
I appreciate the help, Kai.
Don't mention it. Besides, I don't want this to blow up any more than you do. The sooner we solve your murder, the better for everyone. And we should talk back again. I'm hoping you can help me understand what just happened to you.
All right, there we go. We earned a bunch of experience.
Don't be shy. Step into the light.
Layers Ins, please join me in welcoming the newest Drake to the Wyvern's Lair, none other than my good friend Ron Fellows. Ron, thank you so much for your support, your kind support. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much, and welcome to the Layers of Drake. Ron says, "Woot! Heck yes. I'm excited that you're here in the adventure with me, Ron. Good times ahead here at the Mega Dungeon for sure." Yeah, it's really great seeing our guild go from strength to strength on New Legacy, and in part, thanks to your kind support too, Ron. That's very exciting for me. All right, let's pick up this Merc Brew. We got a letter from Fior Mes Erverno. Liviana, Emerald Stair is not the same without you. My animancers are in desperate need of guidance. I understand why you left, but your talents are wasted on that nest of vipers. When you've had enough of healing the body, come back to us and work on healing the soul. Ignis Vidaro, Governor of Fior Mes Iverno. So, Ron, how has been your experience with Avowed so far? What's been your impression of this game? I'm curious to hear.
Hey, I had a dream about you.
You had a dream about me, this clinic patient, huh?
In my dream, you were surrounded by light, but it was shining from inside. You weren't alone either. There were others. Some of them loved you, others were afraid of you, but they all followed you. Also, there was a tree that it wasn't a tree. It made sense at the time. I can't remember anymore. It's a pity dreams aren't made to last. Liviana didn't think you'd make it, but she never gave up on you. Stay safe. You don't want to end up back here again.
My clinic patient had some interesting things to share with us, some of which I think rings true to the mystery that we were confronting. Got a health potion here. Adventurers, please join me in welcoming my great friend, Knight of the Banhammer, Queen Tiamat, joining us from the Abyss, all the way via beautiful Finland. Queen, good to have you here. And now that you're here, Queen, I actually did thank you for your very generous tithe to the Mega Dungeon during my last Ultima Online stream. That was very kind of you, and I forgot to give you a shout out at the end of that stream. So now that you're here, thank you very much. Ron says, man, I played like 45 minutes, very linear, which made me stop playing, but watching this is making it interesting. Good. Glad that you're kind of getting intrigued, Ron. You can definitely go off the beaten path to a certain extent in Avowed. Not completely, but it does encourage exploration. Friendly warning. Do whatever it takes to bring back the envoy. I know you used to be an animancer, and if you still have any of your old equipment, well, some of us are willing to look the other way. If the envoy dies, I cannot guarantee your safety, friend. So there are mysterious people who are interested in our welfare too, it seems. Queen, how are you doing this fine evening? I hope you had a great day out there in Finland. Let's see if Liviana has anything to say to us.
Envoy, what can I do for you?
So you used to be an animancer.
That was a long time ago. I gave it up when I lost a couple of good friends in a lab accident. Never had the courage to look back. It's better for everyone if I focus on healing the body instead of the soul.
Queen says, oh hey, you're hanging out with the first person again. We are indeed, the Amawa. I say, how's business?
You know how it is. Fighting in the alleys, rumor of a plague, odd creatures skulking out of the wilderness. Someone somewhere always needs to get patched up. And when they need me, here I am.
All right. Show me what you have for sale. Anything exciting here? Not really. So we're just going to go ahead and exit out of that option there. Good small crowd here at the Stygian Abyss this evening. We got Joker Soul Dragon, my good friend Ron Fellows, who's also been part of this community for years, and now I have a chance to game together with him on the New Legacy Shard of Ultima Online, and of course our great friend Queen Tiamat, who's been part of the journey almost since the beginning. Queen says, I get to annoy Gonk again tonight. Aha! Does that mean you have your virtual tabletop campaign coming up soon, Queen? Gosh, it's late. It's 9:30 my time. Where is your Dungeon Master based? Are they on Pacific by any chance? Because for sure it's getting to a late hour for both you out there in Finland and for Gonk as well out there in the East Coast. I really need to find a great sword. I do need to find myself a great sword. This mask is itchy. Alright, so let's go ahead and, you know what? Actually, this mask is incredibly itchy, so I'm going to go ahead and take care of that real quick. Alright, and we're back. Queen Tiamat says, yup, gotcha. Yeah, so you got some old crew here tonight at the lair. Who else do you need other than Queen Tiamat, Joker, and the infamous player killer Ron Fellows? Alright, yeah, so we're going to go into my journal, and let's see, untimely end. Alright, before you could deliver your missive from the Emperor, a mysterious assailant attacked you in the streets of Paradis. You died, yet you live. With this new lease on life, the time has come to track down the assassin and unravel the mystery of your survival. So, to advance this main story quest, we have two possible leads here. Report to the Ambassador or find the Watcher. We're going to go ahead and read Find the Watcher first. Runid, the local Watcher, may have an insight into your near-death experience. She can be found in the hills to the northeast. Take the easternmost gate from Paradis and follow the path to the north. Or we could report to the Ambassador. Check in with Lord Faustin Hilgerd at the Adiran Embassy. To reach the embassy, climb the stairs outside of Lavina's clinic and take the main road west. Alright, so there's the stairs that they were talking about. So let's go ahead and do that. And see if I can open up my map and go ahead and track this. There we go. So now that should be prioritized for ourselves. I'm hearing the tingle of treasure of some sort. We'll leave that alone for the time being. Remy Guardiola, a named NPC.
So, you're that godlike, the Adiran envoy. You're the one who saves the ambassador from the Strangleroot, right?
I'm gonna say that was me. Yes. Why?
Interesting. Say, would you be up for helping out some down on their luck Adirans who can't catch a break?
What does Avowed care for some unlucky Adirans?
Oh, heroic and observant, huh? Joking aside, I know this seems strange, but they helped me out when I needed it. I'm just trying to return the favor.
Explain to me how you know these people.
A fair request. I was an animancer in Fjord, just through the mountains in Emerald Stair. A lot of Valian animancers came to Fjord to experiment without the restrictions that come from noble patronage. Well, it turned out my high-minded theories were more explosive than I had calculated. I washed out, disgraced. Then I left Emerald Stair and I lost myself in a bottle at the Grinning Ballarok. Lawfled and Gladwine pulled me out of it.
Ballarok are the massive creatures native to the Living Lands, frequently in hibernation and rarely spotted in the wild. Legends tell that a Ballarok's form reflects their preferred season and ecosystem, where they act as hunters and guardians. All right. Leofalad and Gladwine. I've already met them.
Oh, in the shantytown?
Yes, I'm working on getting them what they need.
Gelarde. Then I won't trouble you any longer, envoy. Farewell.
All right, there we go. So we're actually already on that side quest. Administration District. NPC's just hanging out, and I guess this may be the embassy in front of us here. Or not. This is probably the embassy with the Adiran banners. Some graffiti along the walls. Adiran footman.
You died. But you're here. Gods, am
I glad to see you?
It's our friend Garsic from the shipwreck.
None of the clerks believe my story. Still can't believe you're alive. I'll keep trying. But there's not much to be done for Fort Northreach. You've got some god looking out for you.
I do indeed. We got Cartographers Guild Volume 1. Long has the renowned Cartographers Guild served the emperors and queens of Adir. It is we who are responsible for the creation and distribution of the many maps throughout the empire. Whether to direct travelers throughout the expanse that is Adir, guide ship captains on their voyages throughout Eora, or simply adorn the walls of an aristocrat's home, one can rest assured that the Cartographers Guild is behind the creation of every one of these works of art. For over 2 centuries since the Noble Expedition Corps discovered the Eastern Reach, we have worked and labored to keep all of the Empire and her colonies supplied with accurate, high-quality maps. God's willing, we will continue to do so for centuries yet to come. All right, we're going to go ahead and add that to our journal entry. We got Tysig here.
Envoy, hello. I'm glad to see you on your feet. Kai.
Tej.
I'm surprised they let you in here.
I'm surprised you're still gainfully employed.
Mike 93, do we have a problem here?
I didn't mean anything by it, Envoy. He's just curious company for you to keep.
Hey, somebody has to have the envoys back, because you all sure did it.
No one expected the Envoy to get assassinated.
Exactly. Amateurs.
I think there's more to the story here.
Well,
Kai?
come on, it's funny. Tej caused a ruckus last time he was slumming it at the Ballad Rock. You were trying to kill a man, if I remember right. I had to put you outside.
You threw me into the canal.
You lived.
That water's filthy. I had the runs for 3 days.
Gods, Tej. The envoy doesn't need to know that.
War hero. I've seen worse in the campaign. There's always someone in camp married to the latrine.
Yeah, but now you'll never think of Tej the same way again, will you? And now he'll never think of you the same way either.
Let's not make more of it than it was. I shouldn't have said anything.
Did you really try to kill someone, Tysig?
The fellow cheated me. I couldn't let that slide. Or he'd think we were all marks.
It was over a dice game, right? Tej here has a gambling problem.
Great. Let's air all my troubles. Is there anything else?
The bartender sleeping with your girlfriend.
You're lying.
You sure about that?
We'll talk about this later.
I'm not breaking up with her for you. Just so we're clear.
That's more than enough. Thank you. Was there anything I could help you with, Envoy?
Teach. I'm going to say, I was hoping you might answer a few questions for me. Queen says, speaking of answering some questions regarding her dungeon master, Queen says he's in the Midwest. Oh, okay. Gotcha, that part of the country, over by Flint Fireforge's domain. Alright, let's see if Teach has some answers for us.
Naturally, sir. How can I help you?
War hero, what's Lodwyn doing in the city? I thought she was dead.
Inquisitor Ludwine is the commander of the Steel Garrote in Paradise. Were you to ask her, she'd say she keeps the peace. But she doesn't keep it so much as prosecute it. As ruthlessly as the ambassador will let her. She's also a veteran of the Steel Garrote's campaign in the Deathfire, where she died.
She's a Death Guard. Well, that explains a lot.
I don't know what happened to her there, but I suppose Wodaka wasn't done with her yet.
Let's take a look at that. I've never met a Death Guard that I could actually talk with. Death Guards are strong-willed individuals who refuse to die. They cling to life by maintaining a deep connection to some unresolved personal crusade, often tied to their faith. Rare and terrifying. Death Guards are some of Eora's most brutal and uncompromising villains. Reminds me of the Death Lord Soth from the Dragonlance Chronicles, the Dragonlance Chronicles Queen, I meant to say. I'm going to say Wodika, Goddess of Vengeance. Lodwin's chosen a challenging patron.
Do you think so? I've always found her inflexibility comforting. Wodika's edicts are clear. If you obey her laws, pursue justice, punish the guilty, and give fealty to the Emperor, then you have pleased her, and I aim to please. But Wodika does not trust. She demands that you declare yourself for her again and again. Her every request is a test, and her every test is an opportunity to disappoint her. I appreciate a god who makes you work for their grace. I don't want anything given to me for free.
What do you know about the Steel Garrote?
Think upon your promises and die. That's the litany of the Steel Garrote, usually said right before they kill you. They're an order of paladins born and bred in Adir, though clearly they've found plenty of work beyond our borders. Their remit is simple but comprehensive. They punish all who break their oaths. In practice, that has historically meant contracts. One lord or merchant will hire the Steel Garrote to bring a duplicitous rival to justice.
Fun bunch. What are they doing in Paradise?
Since the events in the Deadfire, their operations have expanded. The Steel Garrote has always been associated with Wodika. Now, they are explicitly her order. And they go wherever Wodika's priests, or Wodika herself, believes there is a need for them to go. The Living Lands are a dangerous, lawless frontier in sore need of order. Thus, they are here. Or so the Steel Garrote say.
Has she ever mentioned me?
Has she ever mentioned you? Except, no. Wait. The morning after the ambassador received word you'd been dispatched, I heard the Inquisitor tell her captain that an old friend would visit soon. That couldn't have been you, could it?
The envoy here has depths you would not believe.
We are living in the strangest of all possible times.
I'd like to ask you something about something else.
Of course.
Queen Tiamat says, speaking of, Grandpa should join us. We just lost our dwarf fighter. Player dropped out. Oh, Queen, you should reach out to Grandpa and see if he'd be up to join you and Gonk on that virtual tabletop campaign. I'm sure he'd be up for it, especially if it's set in the world of Dragonlance. I'm going to say I'd like to understand Paradise better.
What would you like to know?
When was the city founded? Who lives here?
If you're looking for a particular year, the first thing you should know about Paradise is that this isn't the kind of place where the locals keep records. And though it might be considered a distant backwater by the rest of the world, this city is the height of civilization by the standards of the Living Lands. As for who calls this place home, I suspect you could find a criminal, confidence man, or prophet from every civilization in the world here.
Hey, come on. You're gonna give the envoy the wrong idea. We've got draft dodgers, courtesans, and revolutionaries, too. You know, all the fun people.
In any event, as far as I can tell, Paradise has been this way since its inception. Thus the eclectic display of architectural styles. If nothing else, this city is a reflection of the countless people who have passed through it on their way to the interior.
What are Ader's intentions in Paradise?
Depends on who you ask. Ambassador Heelgard will tell you that our remit here is to establish a secure and orderly environment from which to engage in trade. Inquisitor Liudwin will tell you we're here to break the frontier.
So, which is it?
Why not both?
What about the Dream Scourge?
That's where you come in. Whether you find your desires aligning with the ambassadors or the inquisitors, neither can succeed until the Dream Scourge is ended. We are only beginning to see its effects here in Dawnshore, but the closer to the center of the island you go, the worse it gets. That bear you and the ambassador encountered in the Strangle Route isn't even the worst of it. and the tide of this soul plague is rising higher every day.
How do the Paradisans feel about us?
Look, for all that I complain about this backwater, there are good people here. Same as anywhere else. People who want to be able to walk to the market in the morning for their bread and eggs and know they won't be mugged. People who like it when the mail comes on time, and their skates are made from real copper, and their neighborhood peeping Tom ends up in the stocks. Those people, good and honest people, who pay their debts and honor their contracts and remember to thank the gods, they like us a lot.
Tell me about the people who tried to kill me.
The Resistance, as such, are largely a group of misfits and criminals intent on undermining the rule of law. They take out loans with small Aderan banking houses and do not pay them, then assault the bankers who attempt to collect. They agree to contracts with families in Adir seeking homes, and when their ships arrive, promptly abandon them. When we levy a small tax to fund the repair of city roads, they set our counting house on fire. And when our fishermen return to port, they board their ships and sink them.
That's certainly one way to characterize them. It's not exactly wrong, but it's not exactly right either.
For decades, people like them ruled this city through fear. We imposed order, and now they oppose us. You, unfortunately, were caught in the crossfire.
I'd like to ask you about something else.
I'm an open book.
Queen Tiamat says, doesn't this thing broadcast directly to the Discord server? He can just read the chat even when he's not here. That is true, Queen. That is exactly how things work here at the Stygian Abyss now. War Hero. Okay, we've already asked that. The Emperor didn't have time to brief me on the Living Lands. I don't know why I keep on calling it the Living Lands. The Living Lands. What do I need to know?
There's a lot of ground to cover. Could you be more specific?
How do the Living Lands and Adir compare on a map?
Ah, the age-old question. Who's bigger? Adir is, naturally, by a wide margin. And were we at the Cartographers Guild in High Crown, I could show you on one of their globes. As it is, we must make do in the theater of our minds.
Where are the Living Lands in relation to Adir?
The Living Lands are located in the far north of Aora. Adir is southwest of the Living Lands, situated along the equator.
How about the weather, the terrain? I need to know what to expect.
The Living Lands are more arid than Adir, and the island is more prone to storms. But its many deep valleys protect the various townships from the worst of the weather. Topographically speaking, the Living Lands are a place of extremes. Deep inland, mountains rise high enough to rival those of the White March, blanketed year-round in snow. While east of the volcano of Mount Forja is an acid sea that sinks far below the level of the ocean. The lands between them are riven with deep clefts in the earth and isolated by wastelands of sun-baked sand dunes.
I had some other questions about the Living Lands.
I'll share what I can.
All right, who's in power here?
There is no singular authority in the Living Lands.
Not yet, anyway.
I shudder to think what the Living Lands would look like under your rule.
Well, to start, there'd be a lot more brothels.
Charming. Power is invested in the leaders of the various townships scattered across the island. The largest are Fjord, Thirdborn, and Solace. None of which, I will note, are as safe and orderly as Paradise.
What should I know about Fjord?
Fjord Messaverno is located in a valley known locally as the Emerald Stair, named for the terraced rice paddies that cover its hillsides. It is our closest neighbor. The city, if you can call it that, was founded 50 years ago by animancers from the Valian Republics. Apparently, the laws governing animancy weren't lenient enough in the Republics. So the city's founders came to the Living Lands, where they could practice their discipline more freely. Currently, Fjord is governed by a man named Ignacy Vidaro. Rather inept to hear the ambassador talk about him. Fjord's farmers supply most of the grain and vegetables we eat here in Paradise. Or it did. Their shipments have been infrequent lately, Something about a blight in the fields. In any event, I believe that covers fuel.
All right, so there is trouble in Fiora, it sounds like. I'm going to say... don't know much about the Valian Republics.
The Valian Republics are a collection of city-states in the Eastern Reach, southeast of our former colony, the Deerwood. The Republics began life as colonies of the Grand Empire of Valia, hence the name. But as Grand Valia's economy collapsed, well, the colony saw an opportunity to escape the influence of the Empire of Origin, and they seceded, much as the Deerwood did from Adir. Now a mature confederation in their own right, the Republics have recently indulged their own expansionist ambitions in the Deadfire Archipelago. Through their merchants in the Valian Trading Company, the Republics will sell you anything you could ever wish to buy.
Up to and including people.
We should count ourselves lucky they've had no interest in the living lands. In a struggle between our Emperor and the Republic's great dukes, well, I doubt we would come out on top. But if anyone asks, I was not the one who told you that.
What's the story with the Thirdborn?
Everything you need to know about Thirdborn is in its name. It was founded by the Thirdborn children of Rawatai, Navy dropouts, smugglers, and hands for hire. Almawa and Orleans, mostly.
Home, sweet home.
You're free to go back any time you like.
I like my current circumstances just fine, thanks.
They are people, in short, who couldn't cut it in the civilized world, and had to make room on the margins. Unfortunately, they are currently besieged by the Dream Scourge. We have sent some troops to lend what help we can, and the mayor, Temerity, was appropriately grateful, but I don't know how long they'll hold out.
Could stand to know more about Rawatai.
Rawatai is one of the old empires, every bit as storied as Grand Valia or our native Adir. If Adir is to the southwest of the Living Lands, Rawatai is to the southeast. And unlike our home, their small continent is racked by terrible storms. This is due, or rather was due, to the island's proximity to Andra's mortar, the unending super hurricane that once hid the ancient city of Ukaizo. Rawatai is largely peopled by Almawa, descended from those who fled the Deadfire Archipelago centuries ago, when Andra pulled the moon, Ioni Brather, into the sea. They are an aggressive, militant culture, and personally I find their obsession with gunpowder rather quaint. They are also our chief rivals on the world stage.
I don't think they see it that way.
No?
Well, as far as Navy brass is concerned, Adir doesn't really rate.
Now you're just making things up.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but we don't think about you at all.
I think you're right, Queen Tiamat. There does seem to be a little bit of a tension between these two old friends. What can you tell me about Solace?
Solace is, what is there to say, really?
Yeah, they tend to have that effect on people.
The trouble is, I don't know much about Solace. Nobody does. They are an isolationist community of Pargrunan dwarves who live in the forbidding ways of Galawain's tusks. They don't let outsiders into their lands, and they don't let their people out of them.
Some folks get out from time to time, but they can't ever go back. And the ones who survive aren't eager to talk about their experiences.
People aside, the land itself is incredibly hostile. The island's volcano, Mount Forja, rests at the heart of the region, and it's recently become active. Half the land is lava rock, and the other half is, well, literally lava. I don't know why anyone lives there. I have to assume they're all insane.
You have no idea.
Can you tell me anything about the Pargrunan dwarves?
Naturally. The Pargrunan are a unique community of mountain dwarves originating in Old Valia. As a people, they've made their name as explorers, builders, miners. No doubt you've seen their ruins in your travels, here, back home in Adir, and all across the world. They maintain a rich tradition of oral storytelling, chanted magics, and ritual carving, which they take great pains to record and transmit across their various communities. Even the most physically isolated Pogroon is not alone. Somewhere, one of their people is thinking of them and planning an expedition. Abidan must cherish them.
You sound like you admire them.
I suppose I do.
I'd like to ask something about something else.
By all means.
I was told to meet with a Watcher, but I don't know anything about them. What can you tell me?
I trust whomever told you to consult a Watcher also told you to avoid the one in the city. She is a liar and a thief.
Oh, did she take your money?
No. Anyway, Watchers are individuals capable of perceiving souls. The soul may be in a living body, or it may simply be lingering, waiting to pass into the in-between. In either case, interacting with a soul allows a Watcher to glimpse a person's past lives or their most deeply buried memories. Watchers are incredibly rare, and in Adir, highly controlled. Many people wish to know who they were in a previous life, and do not like what they learn.
What happens to Watchers in Adir?
The smart ones stay hidden. They do not announce their powers, perhaps not even to themselves. Even a careful Watcher risks inadvertently revealing themselves by knowing something they shouldn't know. Of the ones that are public, little is concretely known. But we hear things. They make good judges in Wodaka's courts, so long as they're controlled. The lords, it's rumored, buy and sell them to collect blackmail on their enemies. But I suspect many Watchers are imprisoned or executed, or simply kill themselves.
Are Watchers dangerous?
A Watcher doesn't need your cooperation or consent to read your soul. They could learn everything about you, terribly damaging things about your parentage, for example, or things you did in a past life, without you ever knowing. You see how this could threaten the established order, undermine our betters' right to rule.
Yeah, but that's just one side to it. Imagine how a Watcher feels, knowing what a threat they are to the status quo. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be keen on kings and emperors wanting me dead. Sounds like a lot of hassle.
Don't sell yourself short, Kai. I don't doubt you're an expert in people wanting you dead.
You're not wrong.
I rarely am, in any case. The Watcher is fundamentally a tragic figure. Of the few that survive our world, most are destined to go mad.
Could I become a Watcher?
Yes and no. So far as I understand it, a Watcher is born a Watcher. But it takes an event, often something shocking or traumatic, to bring a Watcher's powers to the fore. So you may be a Watcher, or I may be, or Kai, and we might not even know.
Are there any famous Watchers I should know about?
Well, the Watcher of Cadnua is legendary. It was their castle Aethys destroyed when he began his campaign of terror in the Dead Fire. Oh, by the Queen, I hope I get to meet them someday. In terms of local interest, you'll have heard of Runid, of course. And there was Ida. You may not know about her. She was a Watcher from the Living Lands. I believe she was an Orlan. She must have died, 150 years ago. Slain by a great serpent, gods treat kindly with her soul. Doubtless there are others, but most don't meet a good end.
I'd like to ask you about something else.
I'm an open book.
We're learning a lot from Teague here. You're the ambassador's secretary. What's he like?
Well, you'll notice I'm nearly always here. If that man sleeps, I don't know about it. He wouldn't say, but I believe he relied on the Claviger far more than he lets on. And without the Claviger's steady hand at the rudder, the ambassador's struggling just to bail water from the sinking ship that is Paradise.
Claviger Aemon might have tolerated a little more chaos than the ambassador liked, but he kept this place humming. He's not someone you can easily replace, and not with one man alone.
It's a difficult job. The pressure sometimes gets the better of him. But if he loses his temper now and then, I can't blame him for it. Better him than me.
What's he like when he's not working?
He doesn't know what to do with himself. You know, in our first days here, he'd often walk to the end of the docks at sunrise. The work was done, the embassy was closed, and he'd still be wearing the same clothes he'd slept in at his desk. And he'd just stare out over the sea. He always seemed dissatisfied back then. I suppose, years later, he still does.
He's been here a long time. You don't want his job.
Be serious. Most of us here didn't get sent to the frontier because we were anybody's favorite. The longer I'm here, the more likely the people who matter are to forget me. And I'd actually like to get back to High Crown someday. Get married, have a few kids, take the civil exams, and settle into a permanent clerkship.
I guess there are worse ways to spend a life.
Like rotting in this embassy.
I'd like to ask you about something else.
Of course.
And that's it. We've learned all we can from Seek here. And for those of you who are, wondering why I took the time for this, when it comes to the games that I play here on my channel, I do try and take an immersive approach and just take my time in terms of discovering the world and the characters that populate it. So expect a lot of this here at the Wyvern's Lair. I should head out.
Should you ever need me, I will be here.
I like this character.
Safe travels, Envoy.
Safe travels to you, Teague. All right. Ruins here. Can't make it out. We got this. It's like some sort of creature there. That familiar graffiti we saw on the wall leading up to the embassy. We got a Steel Garrote report here. We found this book on a public beach. After careful study, our scribe confirmed the handwriting matches the signature found on the scrolls of Tyen's chaotic orb. Be advised that Tyen is in the Living Lands. As a member of the Circle of Archmagi, he has license to go where he pleases. We will observe him at a distance, but no one is to engage him. Tyen is either a harmless fool or one of the most dangerous people alive. We simply can't take that chance. We got Tyen's diary here. Dear Diary, here I am in the Living Lands. This island might not be the safest vacation spot, but it's certainly the most colorful. Also, the most flavorful, according to these mushrooms. And mushrooms seldom lie. Before I forget, I promised Bekarna I'd bring back a souvenir. There's rumor of a fallen star in Emerald Stair. Could be a nice addition to her collection. A message is scribbled on the inside cover. If found, please return to Tyen the Archmage, author of Tyen's Chaotic Orb. And the Archmages of Ayora. The Adir Empire, Part 2, Expanding the Borders. Oof, it goes on for a while. I'm just going to add that to our journal and be off with it. What do we have here? Adir Empire, Part 1, The Origin. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and add that to our journal. Add your customs, add to our journal as well. We got a contrary letter here. Ambassador Hilgerd. I've maintained order in Paradise for many years. I know this city. When there is a good leader and fair policy, there is peace. But you have allowed the Steel Garrote to terrorize my people, to sow distrust and fear. I suggest you tighten your Inquisitor's leash, or the embassy might not carry your banners for long. Claviger Aemond. Alright, so clearly the ambassador and the Claviger didn't see eye to eye on the Steel Garrote. And there, I believe, is our ambassador.
Envoy, is it really you?
Yes, indeed.
I can't believe you're alive. When they dragged you to Liviana's clinic, I assumed the worst. How do you feel?
As vigorous as a drake in rut.
Not even death can slow you down, I see.
But we'll return to the topic of your untimely demise shortly. Our first order of business is your purpose here in the Living Lands. You said you had a missive for me from the Emperor?
Give him the Emperor's missive. Here you are, Ambassador.
Very good. I'm eager to see what our Emperor intends. Now, His Majesty names you a loyal servant of the Adiran Empire, and an extension of the throne's authority. Thank goodness. At least someone understands the gravity of our situation.
Great. Message delivered. Let's talk about my payment.
Here's something to tide you over. But your work isn't finished just yet. You've seen how wild the Living Lands has become, both in nature and in politics. Sometimes I think the island has a mind of its own. No sooner had you arrived than you found yourself at the center of our troubles.
I'm gonna say... maybe it has something to do with my godlike nature.
At this point, I can't rule anything out. We're in uncharted waters. This embassy has no shortage of political foes, but the Dream Scourge is what keeps me up at night. You've seen firsthand what it can do in nature. We can't let it reach the cities.
Resolve 5-3. I'll get to the bottom of the Dream Scourge, Ambassador, whatever it takes.
Thank you, Envoy. The island is in capable hands. Inquisitor Ludwig thinks the plague is a distraction. She's more concerned about these local rebels fighting against the Empire.
Tell me about these rebels. Who are they?
They were paradisans once, law-abiding laborers. Now, they're fugitives and oath-breakers hiding amongst the populace. They've sabotaged our work, killed our soldiers, and the final straw, attacked you out in the open.
War hero. They must have a motive. Hatred alone isn't enough.
I look forward to hearing about it in your report. I won't lie to you, Envoy. Our position is tenuous. If we can't even defend ourselves, how are we to defend the Living Lands? But defend it we must, for the sake of everyone who calls this island home. Inquisitor Ludwig demands that someone hang for the attempt on your life. These Paradisan rebels must face justice.
I say... where is Lodwyn anyway? We have some catching up to do.
Ludwig goes where she likes, haunting the Living Lands like a vengeful spirit. She'll reappear when she chooses, and not a moment sooner. Let's make sure to give her some good news for a change.
Not many get a chance to solve their own murder, you know. I know someone who could help. A dwarven tracker named Marius. Kith or beast, there's little he can't find. He's staying at the Grinning Ballarrock, not far from Liviana's infirmary. We just take the main road east to the market, then head down the stairs and cross the canal. Rough part of town, even by the standards of Paradise.
You've proven to be capable so far. What can you do that you can't?
Blend in, for one thing. Marius is from the Tusks, about the harshest and remotest place the gods ever created, even by the standards of the Living Lands.
Trickery, lies. The gods did not build this place.
Let's just say no one survives out there without picking up a few skills, the kind we'll need if we're going to find hidden assassins. Especially if they're from the streets of Paradise.
I suggest you recruit as many allies as you can, but choose carefully. They, like you, will represent the Empire. But before we can send you off to parts unknown, we need assurances from the local healer that you're fully recovered. After all, you survived a brush with death. The health of your body is one thing. The health of your soul is another.
I'm gonna say... Viviana suggested I visit a Watcher.
An unusual course of treatment. but who am I to argue? Remember, the assassin is out there. You have the element of surprise. I suggest you use it.
War hero. Not that I need it.
I admire your confidence, but there's no point in being modest with our advantages. We'll talk more of the Dream Scourge when you return. Until then, Envoy.
How about we start with Marius at the Grinning Balrog? Besides, I could use a drink after all this.
Alright, there we go. We got some new possibilities for ourselves to investigate. Let's see what we have around the Ambassador's chambers here. Adirian dialects. And again, very long. We're not going to read it. Ambassador Hilgard's journal. Sorry. Didn't interact with this. I must admit, it's proving impossible to build up diplomatic relations. The locals have a natural distrust of outsiders, and we have nothing they want. Inquisitor Ludwin believes that time and pressure will prevail. Would that I shared her confidence. Ludwin, under her gaze, I feel scrutinized down to the bone, picked apart like carrion, and stared through by a pair of cold, motionless eyes that are glimpsed too far beyond the veil, reducing me to some depraved pilgrim who prays only for her ossified claws to work their way under my skin, liberating me from this pathetic envelope until at last we are bound together as a skeletal pair, limbs intertwined, not as two beings, but as one. There's no shame in being attracted to power. Nevertheless, I must keep such feelings to myself, lest they be met with revulsion, or worse, enthusiasm. There's a very strange journal entry from the Ambassador. Unsent letter. There we go. Claviger Aemond. I know the blightings of the Strangleroot is a cause for concern, but I must strongly discourage any trade deal that involves buying additional crops from Fior Miss Everno. We cannot endorse the blasphemous trade of animancy, much less welcome it to our dinner tables. Ambassador Hilgard. Alright. And with that, I think we are done here. Let's go ahead and see if we can talk to the Ambassador.
I can't tell you how grateful I am that you survived the attempt on your life. But let's not dwell on unpleasant matters.
Alright, I'll be going now. So I guess we don't really have any dialogue choices with the Ambassador for the time being. Let's take a look at our journal and see what we can do. Alright, so we could find the Watcher next, or find Marius at the Grinning Balrog. Let's go ahead and visit the Watcher. Let's open up our map. Oh, just kidding. So let's go to the Balrog instead, since that's the next natural waypoint for ourselves. Current quest. Okay. All right. Now we do have.
I wish that Sawbones would hurry up.
What do we have here?
Gotta get back to him.
Offric.
Wow, it's really you. I mean, we all heard the Emperor sent a godlike, but I didn't never think I'd get to meet you. You are the Envoy, aren't you? I bow, but I think I dislocated my shoulder, and I might have broken some ribs.
War hero, you look like you've been in a skirmish. Tell me what happened.
Yes, sir. My brother Cadman and I ran into some trouble exploring a temple north of the city. Bears and traps and guards. What else? The floor collapsed from under us. He couldn't walk too well, and yet our captain wanted to keep going, so he sent me back for help. We're with a team from the Free Expedition Corps. We've seen a lot. No place like this. I fear for their lives, Envoy.
I'm gonna say Expedition Corps. I don't think I've heard of you.
We don't make it to the High Crown Court much. Something about dirt on the throne room rug. We mostly operate out of the Cartographers Guild. At least it's cozier than the soldiers' barracks. And they let me copy their maps. Most of the places we go aren't as treacherous as this temple, though.
This temple sounds dangerous. What are you doing there?
It's built on ruins, and the ruins are falling apart. Because of the roots, you know, and the earthquakes. We're looking for the man who built the temple, someone the locals call the Oracle. He's a... well, he's like you. A godlike.
Godlike of whom?
He belongs to Aethys. And if the rumors are true, he's the very last of his kind.
Take it from me. Around here, the rumors always have some truth to them.
We just want to talk to him. That's why we went down there. Now my brother's hurt, and my team's in danger, and I'm stuck here and...
Take it easy, kid.
Sorry. Everyone at the embassy's too busy to help me, and I'm worried sick.
War hero. These functionaries have no idea what it's like to put their lives on the line for the Empire. Let me help.
Gods, do you mean it? I can't thank you enough. They descended into the temple through a route off the Pilgrim's Path, just north of the city. You'll know you're headed the right way when you see trail markers and rock stacks the Pilgrims left behind. We posted a guard out front, Sedgwin. Let her know I sent you, and she'll let you pass.
I'm gonna say... anything else I should know?
The Oracle is said to possess a holy relic that belonged to Aethys, a part of the god's Titan body. This Oracle, I don't know if he's dangerous, but he's supposed to carry a sword full of diamonds. I'll probably never get to see it now.
Well reported. I'll see your people safely returned.
Especially my brother, Cadman. Don't forget him. You'll probably find the expedition with the relic we were searching for. Whatever that is. Thank you for hearing me out, Envoy.
Right, we got a new quest here. I did want to touch upon the conversation we were having there. I believe it was with the ambassador. At one point, Kai was saying something to the effect that this place was created by the gods, and then the power that speaks to me kind of intervened briefly, saying that in fact the Living Lands was not the creation of the gods after all. So a little bit of a mystery there. Let's go ahead and drop a save. Let's see what we have here.
Wouldn't want their diplomats going hungry or sober.
Interesting. It seems like there is some danger here. Those that indicates hostiles, but I guess we can't reach them. Anyway, let's not get too distracted here. Let's follow up on our main quest here. How is everyone doing out there in the Stygian Abyss? Do we have anyone still lurking with us as we continue to investigate Paradis here? We got some mariner's porridge, fruitful wine, and lemon. And what do we have here? We have a cup of skeet.
And you adherents taken enough?
Oh, he's making me feel bad about it, huh?
Please, just leave me be.
Sorry. I'm a loot goblin. Don't judge me.
This may not be the prettiest part of town, but it's got the grinning Balrog.
Grinning Balrog. We've heard a lot about this place so far. Looking forward to checking it out.
He saved my life. He would have killed me, and all for a few coins.
Think nothing of it. Any law-abiding citizen would have done the same.
Paradis is getting more dangerous by the hour.
Nothing to see here, Envoy. The situation's under control.
I'm gonna say... apparently. Do you need anything from me?
You can help us clean up these streets. I caught this waste of life mugging a protected citizen. I just did what came naturally.
I thought all Paradisans were protected citizens.
These things happen from time to time. Inquisitor Ludwine understands. I assume you do too.
War hero. That sword is a gesture of trust. Make sure you're using it judiciously.
I am. But there's no shame in taking pride in your work either. You understand what it takes to maintain order. We're going to do great things with you around.
I'm not saying violence is never the answer, but she's a little too keen to deploy it.
Got studded gauntlets here. Softwood branch. Studded gauntlets. Plus 10% parry efficiency. Nah, we're going to stick with the van braces for the stun. We got the dagger here, common dagger.
You're the Adiran envoy, aren't you?
And the grinning Balrog is just ahead. I think we actually have to go down this way, perhaps? We got here. Oh no, I need to take the spoiled cabbage. See what we got here. Nothing. Here, nope. And there's the grinning Balrog. Hideous Visage. And there's Hal.
Don't go starting trouble. Don't go starting trouble.
Alright, fair enough.
So, you're the one they all crow about, eh? Best hunter and guide in all of Dawnshore?
Just Dawnshore? Phew, must be slipping.
You just look like a drunken dwarf to me. Seen 1,000 of you roaming back home in Adir.
It's like we stepped into something.
Ha! The mighty Marius, deep in his cups, ready to take on the deadliest prey, providing they're asleep at the time.
Right. Take another sip of Makul. Rude not to finish a drink someone bought for you.
No wonder you're hiding behind a mug. You're too worried about being polite to survive out there.
The dwarf there is Marius. Best tracker I know.
Let's see, what do we got here? A Makul. A lember term for a casual friend. Gotcha. I'm gonna say... Interesting. Let's see how this plays out.
I heard you're from Solace Keep. How great a survivor could you be? Hiding behind stone walls all your life.
You don't know anything about me, you Adiran Nimdut. So maybe go back and take another blessed day sip.
But here you are. Tell me, how does one get kicked out of a place that never lets anyone leave?
Dukte Drago Sakasat Jitule. You want to talk so much, I'll cut you a second mouth across your throat.
Interesting use of words there. Nimdut, a lember term for an idiot or jackass, often used in a friendly manner among colleagues. Bleste, a lember expletive meaning damn. Duka Dragu, a vulgar lember phrase used in Solace to angrily dismiss someone or tell them to go away. Saka, a vulgar lember term for shit or stuff. And Jitul, a lember curse used in anger, similar to bastard. Gotcha. Sounds pretty upset at these guys. You know Marius, do you think we should step in?
Marius can handle himself. Of course, if you're bored, we could always start something anyway.
I'm gonna stop this now.
I'm with you. Ready to crack some heads.
Marius, we came here to talk to you, but we can help you destroy these two losers first, if you like.
You stay out of it, Envoy. This isn't your problem.
War hero, if you know who I am, then you should know better than to tempt my blade.
I've heard stories of this one. You don't want this fight.
The gods smile on you today, Marius. You won't always have someone around to protect you.
Alright, so we talked down Calvern and Mali there. And there is Marius.
Well, that was something.
Thanks for stepping in there. I had it handled, but I'm happy I didn't have to.
Marius, this is the infamous Adiran envoy. Envoy? Marius.
Well, any friend of Kai's is definitely a person.
Say, how do you and Kai know each other?
We were both crossing the same patch of forest at the same time a couple years ago. There were some boars in heat I may have helped him with.
They were squirrels, and I had them well under control. If I'm not mistaken, you're looking for someone to help find the people who killed you.
I'm gonna say, how exactly do you know that?
I've been keeping tabs on you since you got here. Godlike, looking like you do, and hauling Kai around like a sick puppy. I need to see the scene of the crime, over by the town gates. I promise there's something left there we can use to track them.
I'm gonna say, wouldn't they have cleaned the area since then?
The assassins wouldn't go near that place anytime soon. And you don't have to worry much about people cleaning up in this town. We'll figure this out, Amaku. Don't you worry.
I like this character. Alright, new companion. Known as the Beast Hunter and Wilderness Guide... Known as the best hunter in Wilderness Guide in the Living Lands, Marius has lived all over the Living Lands, but there's no place he truly calls home. Marius uses ancient Pergrunan stealth and survival techniques to gain the advantage over his foes, trapping them in gripping vines, or disappearing from sight to ambush them with a silent attack. His senses are attuned to detect threats and objects scattered across the Living Lands. Abilities: Binding Roots. Marius uses his wilderness lore to root an enemy in place for 8 seconds. Hunter Sense. Order Marius to scan for enemies, loot, and plants in the Living Lands. Oh, that is useful. Okay, speaking of, let's go into tab. Character. Abilities. I don't have any abilities to assign there. But what about character? Points available 0. What about my companion? There we go. Marius has 2 points to invest. So we got Binding Roots, Wounding Shots, Shadow Step, and Heartseeker. Alright. Marius uses his wilderness lore to root an enemy in place for 8 seconds. Binding Roots deals stun to trapped enemies. Ooh, interesting. This is really good. I actually quite like that. Let's go ahead and invest 2 points into... Oh, we got a choice. Deal stun to trapped enemies? Yes, please. Are you sure you want to spend 1 point on this ability? Yes. And then we can invest another point here. Binding Root traps multiple enemies in a small area of effect. Sure. Yes. There we go. I'm happy with that. Perfect. Let's talk to Flint here. Hey, it's Flint Fireforge showing up in Avowed. My good friend.
Oh, hey Envoy. Appreciate you stopping that fight. I haven't known many Adirans who tried to settle things peaceably.
I'm going to say, I'm just trying to maintain some semblance of order here.
If that's why you did it, you've got your work cut out for you. Now, what'll it be?
I'm going to say, I'm interested in what you know.
If you want information, I've got it. Just a matter of what you'll pay for it.
I'm going to say, what can you give me for no charge?
There's a rumor about a valuable Pargrun stash north of here. You didn't hear that from me, though.
Pay 5 copper coins. What else can you tell me?
The locals are worried about the steel garrote coming into town. Whatever Wodica wants, she's bound to find it.
Sounds good. Now, what are you selling? Yeah, we're definitely gonna buy all these lockpicks. Absolutely. And I think that sounds good. We're gonna leave behind the fine archivist and stuff. Not doing too bad. We got almost 4,000 gold coin on us. There's not bad at all. Got a thief here.
Go eavesdrop on someone else. What do you want, Adiran?
2 thieves. What else do we have here in the Steel Garrote? Let's take a look at this place. Thought it would be a little livelier. Layersins, please join me in welcoming our good friend Bathal, saying hello, homie, out there in the Stygian Abyss. Good to have you here, Bathal. Welcome to the Wyvern's Lair as we play Avowed. We're currently in the city of Paradis, and I'm here at the Grinning Balrog, apparently the tavern to be if you are living or visiting Paradis.
Mind your own business.
Yes, I am.
Evening.
Bounty hunters and patrons. And there's this guy too.
I don't like how those militia folks look at you.
We got Kai. Belburn.
Watch your back, Marius.
They're pissed that I intervened with Marius here. Molly.
Step off, Marius.
Yeah, they're not fans, clearly. Alright. What do we have here? Got a back alley. Paradis and ladder. And we have a way to get through here.
Hey, what's going on back there?
Don't you worry about it. Got a chest to open. Silver Fenning, Golden Shelling, Common Male Harbrook, Common Scale Armor, Primal Flame, and Awakened Wood. Not bad. Let's go ahead and put some of this... Our stash in camp. Yep, let's go ahead and stash that in camp. Yep, do that as well. Do that with the common bow, common dagger, common mace, common shield, and common sword. Yep, send all that over. Send that too. Looking good. Bethal says, how are you feeling today, Bethal? Honestly, I really needed to take most of today to catch up and rest. It's been quite a draining week for myself here at the Wyvern's Lair. So, yeah, I decided to just, you know, give myself something of a rest break this Saturday. And yeah, it's been a good day in that respect. But it's been a week, Bethal. How about yourself? How's things going for you? Always good to see an old name like yourself here at the Wyvern's Lair. Bethal says, God bless you, buddy. Not easy. Take care. Appreciate that, Bethal. Appreciate that. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. All right. So let's open up our journal. Bethal says, just about okay, but that's life. Thank you. Yes, I hear you. I hear you, Bethal. So next we're going to go find that Watcher. Runa, the local Watcher, may have some insight into your near-death experience. She can be found in the hills to the northeast. Take the easternmost gate from Paradis and follow the path to the north. Actually, no. We're going to go to the... acquire the lands deeds. Acquire Andras. Find the Watcher. And that is the scene of the crime. We're really close to the Watcher, so let's go ahead and see if we can link up with the Watcher here. We head the right way? I think we are. Got some Burn Lady we can pick up and some Magran's Fury.
Know what you're doing.
And I believe that is the way to the Watcher.
You there. Are you
just going to stand there and gawk at that body all day?
He's dead. It's not like I can do anything for him now, can I?
You can see that the poor bastard is properly processed. What is this? Charnel House?
First week in the Living Lands.
Let's talk to see what happened here.
Ah, I've seen worse. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Double murder.
Damn this city. Every day someone new turns up dead. Envoy?
Huh?
Got a common axe here.
What are you doing?
Common dagger.
Crime scene. That's evidence.
Hey, shush you.
That's the Imperial Envoy. Stay out of his way.
Oh, right. My mistake.
There we go. We're recognized for who we are. Pearl District. We got a travel beacon showing up here. Excellent. Oh, that's kind of a bigger mission. So let's let's go back to the crime scene here real quick. Have you had a chance to check out Avowed yourself at all? I'm curious whether you've had any experience with this game or what you think of it so far through content creators like myself. And we're heading back into Paradise to take a look at the crime scene here. All right, here we are.
Smell that salty air. Right here. This is where the envoy fell.
If it were me, I'd take the shot from up there above the embassy. Let's see if we can get up there.
All right, there we go. Let's see if we can use his power.
Something nearby.
Really? Yeah, spring berries. Bethal says, no, I haven't. Seems okay, though. I've been playing Kingdom Come, Deliverance, and Valheim. Both great games, Bethal. I needed something with a more fantastical setting myself before diving into, a real love letter to living out your fantasy medieval life.
They confiscated that stuff? It must be worth having.
That you could experience playing a game like Kingdom Come. We got a chest here. The Hands Occult. Interesting. Take a look at that. Plus 1% critical hit chance. The origin of these finely made gloves is lost in the annals of history, just the way the god in whose image they were designed would like it. Still, it is clear that they were created with practitioners of the arcane in mind. There is a faint static charge perpetually present on these gloves that can be felt so strongly it's almost painful while the wearer is channeling. Plus 10% shock damage. Nice. A lesser shocking affinity. Okay, interesting. Got a note here. Audit of confiscated goods. To be held until further notice, boot knife, white leaf sword, arrows, severy, grenades, modified pistol, does not fire, grave step, and a sickle. Seen more weapons this week than in the past 2 months combined. Should report to Captain Sinric. Is this organized? What is Paradis planning here? There's a Magrin's Fury, a grenade. We'll happily pick up that. Audit of stolen goods. Taking a look at that. A bonus threshold. All right. There we go. Back in the administration district. Now looking at the confiscated goods here, perhaps.
Envoy, got a situation over here.
Tradesperson.
Oh, good. You came over. glad to see you're up and about.
For fuck's sake, can we move this along? I don't have all day.
I'm gonna say we can talk later. What are we dealing with?
The same thing we deal with every day. Most of us are off searching for the ones who attacked you. That leaves us short-handed, so people like her try to sneak in. I caught this one, but I have to check her cart for contraband. There's a lot to dig through.
I can lend an extra pair of hands. Alright, so how do we do this?
Find anything?
I'm still looking. So yeah, how do we search? Grenade. Another grenade. Huh. It's definitely suspicious. Let's make sure that we're not missing anything here.
One moment. Yeah.
That looks like it, I think. I haven't been able to find anything else. 2 grenades, eh?
Find anything?
This grenade doesn't look very legal to me.
I knew you were hiding something. You'd better have an ironclad explanation for this.
I don't know anything. Someone's trying to set me up.
Thanks for the help, Envoy. I think I can handle it from here.
Thanks for nothing. Thanks.
Don't worry. Where she's going, she won't be able to blow anything up.
Alright, we did some good for that Adheran soldier there. Checking out the administration district. Seeing what else we can find here. Scholar Adelgund.
Well, I'll be chomped by a Zarip queen. You're that godlike from the docks.
I am.
I can't believe my luck. Nothing all year, and then boom, interesting strangers just falling out of the sky.
I'm gonna say, sounds like you've had other visitors.
Indeed. A young dwarf and his crew stopped by. Seemed agitated, like they were afraid of someone.
Do you know what they were looking for?
They were asking where they could find luminous Ardra, of all things. Can't imagine what they'd needed it for. I said they were most likely out of luck, but I might know somewhere they might find some if they looked hard enough.
Where did you send them?
Not long ago, a group of animancers looked to carry out some experiments into teleportation. They carried their instruments and a healthy supply of luminous Ardra to the island of Castel's Folly. It's possible there's some still there.
I'm gonna say, you're a Adheran, if I'm not mistaken, but you seem to know a lot about animancy.
Me? Oh no, I know better than to tread on that side of the Emperor's laws. I just knew some people at one time. Long ago. They asked me to join them in the experiment, but I've made enough mistakes to know how to avoid a big one. Question, why are you looking for those sailors? Did the Valian captain send you?
What Valian captain are you talking about?
I don't know much, but one of the smugglers whispered the name Captain Bardato and spit on the ground. The name sounded Valian to me. I could be wrong, but I doubt it.
Have you seen this Valian captain in Paradise?
Oh no. I imagine a Valian sea captain knows better than to spend time among all these Adheran soldiers. The folks you're looking for are probably getting themselves killed searching for Ardra that probably isn't there. I can tell you wouldn't listen to me if I warned you not to go to Castel's Folly, so I wish you luck.
Alright, there we go. Got a bit of a side quest, I would imagine. I'll leave no crate unturned because treasure could lie.
Sometimes we get more contraband coming through here than honest goods.
Got something over here. Or not. I have to get to the top of that tower somehow. There's Garsic. This is probably one way to do it. Getting there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easily done. Got a backpack with Blackwing gloves. Unique. And what do we have here?
I've got something.
Over here. Look.
Flask of poison. This flask is empty, but it reeks of swamp water and rancid berries.
Smells familiar, but I can't place it. Whatever it is, it's not used for game hunting or keeping beasts out of your garden. The apothecary might know more. That's where I'd look.
Seems like a good place to start.
I'm gonna say the assassin was ready for me. I wonder what that tells us.
It tells us they were hunting you. Whoever did this takes pride in their work. They made sure this stuff would kill you. Go back to the market and up the stairs to the east. You'll see a large building with a big window on top.
The Mermaid's Den. Nice place. We should say hello to Juliana while we're there.
The apothecary is in the back alley. Any luck? We can track down who made this poison. Find your killers.
All right, there we go. Making some good progress here. Let's take a look at that glove that we found. Blackwing gloves. The dyed leather of these gloves is supple and intricately tooled. The palm of the gloves is thin enough that the wearer can barely tell that anything lies between their hands and whatever they may hold, granting increased control and precision. Based on where you found these gloves, it's fair to assume that they were once used to fire the arrow that slew you. It gives a plus 1% critical hit chance and plus 10% critical damage. Good for that type of a character. Let's go ahead and transfer that to the camp, along with the Hands Occult as well, and we're good there. Make sure we're not leaving anything behind. Candles. I think that's it. Open up our map. And now we're headed to the apothecary.
Yeah.
We have to head this way to reach the apothecary.
Guess Adiran discipline doesn't apply to pest control.
Ah.
Watch yourselves.
Not bad, Marius.
Guess we found some bugs. happened here? Shadowgrass, pick that up. Let's see what's back here. Paradisian ladder, we'll pick that up too. Do a quick round. And make our way forwards.
With any luck, your assassin will be as bad at hiding their tracks as they were at making sure you stay dead.
Alright, we'll have Kai open up a way. There we go. Let's make sure we're not missing anything here.
I don't think the new owners like company.
Oh. What in the devil's going on here? Let's go to the Eastern Paradise Gate Beacon for the time being. Looks like we're going to another section of the city there. Keep track of the time. We have been at this for quite some time, adventurers. Alright, let's see. I think we can head this way to reach the apothecary.
Look who graced us with his presence.
Nell Tenfingers.
This is the Sparrowhawks district. State your business.
Crack your knuckles. I go where I want. Step aside.
Go on. But remember, Thala's got his eye on you. I wouldn't get on an ogre's bad side.
Alright. Let's talk to Nell Tenfingers.
Watch your back. Or don't.
Alright. We headed the right way for the apothecary there. How do I track this? Is my... Oh, I see. Gotcha. Alright. Yep. I got what I want tracked as far as my active quest is concerned. Ooh, look at that large ogre.
Smile and be yourself. Or maybe just smile.
Ha. Okay. Yep, this is the way to the apothecary. Sparrowhawk Bowman.
Best watch your step around here, envoy. This is my district.
Oh, that's fascinating. Thala the Taskmaster. Let's talk to this thing.
So, the puny godkin wishes to speak with the great Thala. You and your countrymen are not welcome in this district. My district. Is that clear?
Raise an eyebrow. Then why let me walk around here at all?
Not being welcome here doesn't mean you aren't tolerated. We're not fools enough to attack you or your kin unprovoked. I would be lying if I said I wasn't just waiting for the opportunity to crush you into the ground. One little slip in my district, Imperial Lapdog, and it'll be the last you ever make.
I'm gonna say underestimate me, and that will be your last mistake.
So the little godkin has a spine. Good. Ripping it from your body will be a pleasure most exquisite. Now be gone. Thala tires of your yammering.
Alright, that looks really cool. And I believe that is where our apothecary is. The Diran banner has been desecrated here by these, whatever these things are. Sparrowhawks.
Dirans ain't welcome around the Pearl District. Mind yourself.
Okay. We can't get through this door. What do we have here? Migrant's Blessing. We'll pick that up. And over here we have an apple and an artist's journal. I remember when Paradis was a small town. The Claviger, barely even a title at the time, didn't mediate anything more complicated than a bar brawl. Now we have rules we don't understand, restrictions on practices we didn't think to protect, checkpoints, borders, arrests. Good folk vanishing in the night, and for what? Blasphemy? Oath-breaking? The laws of an empire full of strangers. Adir is keeping the wilderness at a safe distance, but we don't understand what we gave up in the compromise. I remember when Paradis was a small town. Gods, when did we become a city? Alright, so I feel like the apothecary is within this building. What do we have here? Sparrowhawk Archivessor. Archivessor, rather.
Let us in, sweetheart.
I told you, we're closed.
Not for us, you're not.
What's a man gotta do to get his needs met around here?
If you think we'll roll over after you steal from us.
That's exactly what I think.
Fine. Take it up with Juliana.
Oh, don't worry. We will.
Not you, too.
I'm gonna say, what's this all about?
This girl thinks she's gonna keep us out of the bathhouse.
You might own half the district, but you don't own the mermaid's den.
We'll see about that.
You don't like it? Take it up with your second in command. He's the one who stole from us.
That's a load of...
I knew this was Jago's fault. This isn't over.
Sorry. This district used to be a nice place.
I'm gonna say, you mentioned they're stealing from you.
The Sparrowhawks always got along fine with us, and then they, I better not talk about it. Juliana told us to be discreet. She's inside. If you want to help, she can give you the details.
I'm gonna say, all right then, I can keep a secret.
You'd better hope you can.
Alright, new quest, The Lady Never Tells, Lady Juliana. I believe our apothecary is just ahead.
Please, this is all I have.
That's the apothecary you're looking for.
All you have?
I'm telling you, there's no coin left. Business has been slow.
Fine, we'll make a deal. I can break your arms, or I can break your legs.
This can't be happening. Help!
Alright, something's happening here. Let's drop a save. See what they want with the apothecary.
Huh. Aren't you the Outlander who died in the streets? How are you... It doesn't matter.
You've got to help. He's gonna hurt me again.
Everyone take a deep breath. No one is hurting anyone else today. Right?
You seem to like beating up on little guys. Want to take a run at me?
Listen to me, dead man. What happens here does not concern you. Walk away.
I'm gonna say, step away from that man.
Or what? You'll die on me?
Have to admit, that's a good one.
This is getting tiresome. I wasn't really gonna hurt the apothecary, but I'm really, really gonna hurt you.
War hero, I am going to rip you in half, lengthwise.
Slowly, too. So you better hope he starts at the top.
He's not lying. I've seen it happen.
You talk too much.
Hey, boss, maybe we shouldn't. Fighting a godlike seems wrong somehow.
I knew you'd gone soft. We'll settle this as soon as I'm done here.
Right, there we go. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and root.
Is that all you got?
And then we're going to go ahead, fire, and then I'm going to go and give him a whap. Down he goes. Where's that guy? Starhawk. That's one. And then that's two. Excellent.
There you are, swine. This time,
Oh, hey.
you're gonna stay
Whoa.
dead.
Oh my goodness, that guy is for real. Let's go ahead. Let's give him a binding. Okay, great. Damn. Hey, hey. What the heck? I did. Move. Oh, geez. I've basically forgotten how to fight, haven't I? There we go. Oh my goodness. Root, please stand. There we go. Let's go ahead and drink a quick healing potion here. Plenty of them. Got Thala down. Oh. What's that? Let's get a root going. There we go.
Over here.
All right. Looking good. Hey, move. Gosh, damn it. Off we go on Thala. Excellent. Let's go ahead and drink an essence potion real quick. There we go. Okay, excellent. Charge. Excellent. Good. 6 seconds. Hey, move. All right, there we go. Excellent. Wait for him to get up. Move. Get me, yep, get me one of those. Get the war charge. And let's go ahead. Drink an Nexus potion. Move! God damn it. Alright, move. Oh my gosh. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and drink another healing potion. Root. Okay. Let's go ahead. Oh no. Move, move, move. Let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and drink another essence potion. Ow. Alright, move, move, move. Dreamlike.
He's also.
Okay, let's try that again. There we go. Back in the fight with Kai. Move. Stun. Another healing potion. This has been a hard fight. Charge. Alright. Move, move, move. Jesus. Yeah, fire starter, please. Move. God damn. There we go. Got binding roots out. Go ahead and drink one of those essence potions. And yeah, I think this guy's move. Oh my gosh.
Can't
There
believe
we
they're
go.
dead. It's over.
Solid Taskmaster. Audra, Silver Fenning, Parries and Ladder, bunch of peppers, pepper, and ogre blood. Ooh, Delally. Copper Skeet, Lockpicking Cabbage. What did you have? Essence Potion. Holy guacamole, that was a fight. Let's talk to Griska.
Envoy, thank you for dealing with those miscreants. There's a plague on these streets, and they are a symptom.
A gang of bullies shaking down honest folk seems more like the cause to me.
It's no more dangerous here than anywhere else. It's just that monsters here have knives instead of fangs.
You even killed Thala, the biggest, baddest of them all. The Sparrowhawks are gonna come after you.
Might. Not if they know what's good for them.
They don't. That's the problem. You don't have to come to my defense. No one sticks their neck out for anyone in these parts.
Might. Rub your thumb and forefinger together. I didn't do it for free.
Ah. I suppose I don't mind paying off the lesser of two evils. What'll it be today, Envoy? I know you didn't come for herbal remedies.
Show him the poison flask. What do you know about this?
Poison? Let me take a look. Wait, I recognize that from my wares. It's oil distilled from Santa Torre, a berry native to the Living Lands.
Marius, Kai, what do you know about Saint Torre?
Just that it's supposed to act quickly, and that you shouldn't mess with it if you don't know what you're doing.
So don't, under any circumstances, mix it up with moonberries.
And before you ask, I can't tell you who bought the poison. If word got around that I was ratting my clients out to the adherents, it'd be the end of me.
Resolve. I risked my life for you. Tell me and we'll call it even.
I hate carrying a debt. Just don't tell anyone you learned it from me. The truth is, I never saw the customer's face. They wore a hood. A monk's cowl, I believe. But I can tell you that Santa Torre is used in religious rituals. Prophets and seers will do anything to leave their bodies.
I say... anything else? You won't like it if I discover you were holding out on me.
I have nothing to hide. Not anymore. Just talking to you has put me at odds with Paradis. I have no wish to be at odds with Adir as well.
If you want mystic types, you want to go visit the Temple of Andra. Probably the only reason you'd want to go there.
On the other hand, Claviger Amond was cozy with plenty of mystics and oddballs. We could check out his estate for clues.
Go past the Hightown Gate to the north, then follow the road eastward until you reach the statue of Andra.
I'm gonna say, smile dangerously. Try not to do business with any more assassins.
Easier said than done, believe me. I hope that I've been able to assist you in some small way. Good luck in your investigation, Envoy.
Poison from one of the temples. So much for the gods working through miracles and mysteries.
All right, we leveled up. Let's go ahead and complete that level up before we wrap things up. We're level 6 now. Making some good progress here. What do we want to do? What do we want to do here? That's rank 10. Devastating criticals, Iron Fist, we're not doing that. Let's see. Deal higher stun. We do like dealing higher stun for sure. Do we want... Barbaric Shout grants temporary health and taunts all nearby enemies. Unlocks Barbaric Shout. Do we want to taunt all nearby enemies, though? Because that could be very bad for us. Stunning blows, unbreakable. Power jump. I do like the idea of speccing into bleeding cuts. Or increasing our maximum health. That could also be really good. Decreases the stamina penalty for medium and heavy armor by 25. See, power jump, unbreakable, stunning blows, built to destroy. Into the fray. That's level 10. So let's go ahead and do bleeding cuts, because I do eventually imagine myself using great swords quite a bit. So we'll go ahead and invest a point there. That looks good. I like that. And then, of course, we need to go into character here. We'll put 1 point into Might and confirm that. We got Might 10. Plus 25% damage, plus 83% inventory carrying capacity. That's looking good for us. Let's go back to abilities and companions. And do we have a point to invest? We do not. That's where we're going to have to leave it with the companions. And that is... Why are we moving so slowly? That is what I want to figure out. Why are we moving... Oh, is that why? I hit caps lock and we were walking slowly around that fight? Okay. That's important to remember. I was wondering, I thought, what, am I being... like, rooted somehow? What's going on with my movement? There's the common X. Send that in. And we're looking good everywhere else. Joker says, DM Wyvern, wow, you're still going, old man. I am indeed. But this is, in fact, where we're going to wrap things up, Joker. It's been a great run here in Avowed. I really enjoyed the longer session that I promised myself to get through on my channel. Accomplished a lot. We are on the hunt for our would-be assassin. We just defeated Thrall the Taskmaster here. And obviously angered all the sparrows here in the district. And we spoke to Griska, the apothecary who sold the deadly poison that almost killed me for good. But we're going to have to pick up the mystery, and we return next to Avowed. For now, it is time to say farewell. The adventure is indeed ending for now. I want to thank all the Layersins who showed up this evening. We got Violence in Video Games, Joker Soul Dragon, Ron Fellows. Thank you again, Ron, for becoming a patron of Layer, joining the Layers at Drake. I appreciate any and all support from the Layersins, such as yourself. Welcome to the Mega Dungeon, Ron. And of course, our good friend Queen Tiamat, who I had a chance to thank for her generous €5 donation during my last stream. Always good to see you here, Queen Tiamat. Hope you were able to get together with Gonk and have a fun virtual tabletop session in the Dragonlance campaign setting. And Joker Soul Dragon, hopefully we'll have a chance to catch up with you tomorrow for some adventures in Ultima Online offline on the new Legacy Shard. I will be back at some point next week for the next adventure here at the Wyvern's Lair. Till then, this has been myself, Dungeon Master Wyvern, playing Avowed. See you all for the next adventure soon.